start off slow on offense, and that ultimately, if you start well on offense, you maybe win that game. Defensively, on the other hand, the second half they played better, but at the same time, giving up 45 points to that horrendous offensive line. FSU beat them last week. Not a good look for Manny Diaz and the Hurricanes. I still think Tyler Van Dyke has a lot to prove. I do think he's a very good quarterback. He's very young, though. So
he showed some balls, you know. Honestly, that's the way I saw it. He showed some courage today. He showed some fight, and it's something that honestly we haven't seen for a little while, because when we get down, we often don't show a lot of fight after that. Yeah. So my question to you, and you bring it up, and I'm glad you brought it up already, is the slow start. What do you think it was today? Was it play calling? Was it a young quarterback? What do you think was that slow start for us?
I think we're not prepared. It's every week. Once you start slow every single week and you don't show anything after the 6 games that we've already had, every game that we've had offensively has been a slow start. So in that case, it's either a Rhett Lashlee thing, or you're just not getting prepared. You're not doing anything in the film room to show that you can do anything better to improve yourself offensively. And the fact is, I mean, I have no problem with Van Dyke, the way that he played in the second half. I also have no problem with the play calling. I actually thought the play calling was better in the second half. I do think that they improved in the second half. I think defensively, on the other hand, with roughing the kicker penalty, that hurt us. And there were too many penalties. That's the thing. When you have that many penalties, you're not going to win those types of games.
Do you recall how many yards we had on offense there going into halftime?
80.
I mean, how? Like with the playmakers we have, how do you not find ways to get these guys into space? And it's not like they have to knock off 50, 60-yard plays on space. I'm talking about 7, 8 yards, 13 yards, 12 yards. I mean, what the hell, dude? Like, what the hell? And then to have to put it on the shoulders of our young quarterback late in the game on the road, it's not a recipe for success, you know? Too many of the same problems over and over and over again. Yes, this team showed some fight. Yes, they showed some courage today, but UNC practically wanted to hand us that game. There was times that they could have easily walked away with a win, and they just kept letting us in it, What do you think was the, as far as the second half for us, finding our rhythm, what do you think helped us in that aspect?
Jalen Knight. He's your best player. He's your best offensive player. And also, you got to give Rambo the ball more. When you don't give him the ball, it makes no sense. The fact is, when Jalen Knight got into space, you got 20 yards every play. Most of the time, you got 20 yards. And when Rambo didn't get the ball until the second half, he only had 1 catch until the third quarter. What?
Mind-blowing.
I don't understand the logic between our offensive coordinator and the way that Manny game planned these games. Don't understand it. The amount of talent that you have, you should be winning these games. And this North Carolina team is not good. It's not as good as they are not as good as they were a year ago. So the fact is, and they lost to that FSU team last week. Yep. I don't know what else to say on this. It's horrible the way that our coaching has been in the past 6-7 games. And we are, what are we now? 0-7 against Power 5 teams in the past 7 games?
Yeah. Unreal. And we have the talent advantage in 90% of them. That's what really, really hurts. I got a question for here. We're talking about playmakers. We're talking about getting them in space. What do we need to do to get Brashard Smith involved more? You know, where are we lacking in getting him involved in the game plan more? Because he's electric if we can get him in space.
Surprised we never did the Wildcat for him. or anything like that. I mean, he was a quarterback, right, in high school.
I think he played some snaps at quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, give him a chance to do the Wildcat. I mean, we've been successful in the Wildcat in the past with Mark Richt. What makes you not do the Wildcat, especially in a game where it's very high scoring? I mean, changing your formations and stuff would be a good change. Like giving Van Dyke a little bit of a break passing the ball. I think a Wildcat would be successful, especially when this defense. We were running the ball against them. This defense wasn't very good, so I would say Van Dyke, though, in the first half, those 2 interceptions, one of them weren't. I mean, it wasn't a good throw. The second one was right in his hands. I forgot what the first one was though. But yeah, the way that we lost this game was giving up 45 points. That's it. You scored 42 points. So your offense was fine. Defensively, on the other hand, based on all the penalties that you had, you're not winning this game. You didn't deserve to win the game. As much as I wanted to win this game, I was really pissed off that we got picked off at the end of that game. But you didn't deserve to win this game. You didn't.